All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into a wild one, the Jaglavak Glitch. This is a story about a relationship that is so intense, so passionate, it literally breaks reality. We're going to explore this really surreal world of love, jealousy, and what happens when a fight between two people is powerful enough to crash their entire universe.
So, where do we start? Well, this story actually begins at the end, with a confession. Our narrator flat out admits she was wrong. But, getting to that point, to that realization, well, that's a seriously chaotic trip through time, space, and some very complicated feelings.
At its core, this whole thing is about a fight between two lovers. But this is not your everyday argument. Oh no. The emotional feedback loop between them gets so powerful that it glitches the world around them, causing reality itself to suffer a critical system failure.
So how in the world did we get here? To really get a handle on the glitch, first we have to understand the fight. So let's meet the main players in this hyper-real, very broken game. Now you gotta remember, we're seeing this whole crazy story through our narrator's eyes. She's trying to piece it all together, wrestling with this potent mix of anger and jealousy that, spoiler alert, leads to a total system meltdown. And you know what the spark was that lit this massive fuse? A song. Just a song. Tolo was singing these words, and that, combined with him being kind of secretive lately, slipping out early in the mornings, it just made our narrator's mind leap to the absolute worst conclusion. And that's when her anger just boiled over. She grabbed what she calls her brand new diamond-encrusted pimp cup, which was a gift to herself, by the way, and she threw it right at his head. So yeah, this escalated from a quiet suspicion to a full-blown physical fight fast. So what could possibly lead to that moment of rage? To really understand why she was so furious, we've got to rewind a bit. Let's see what she found when she went looking for Tolo, who had mysteriously disappeared. So their ship docks at a station, and poof, Tolo is gone. The narrator goes searching for him, and her search takes her to this place she never even knew existed. And what she finds there? Well, it seems to confirm every single one of her worst fears. She finds out he has this enormous, seriously luxurious private suite on the station. It's got all these personal touches, but also, and this is the big red flag for her, it has dozens of these little cubbies filled with stuff other women have left behind. It's like they're planting flags on the moon. But it's not the stuff that pushes her over the edge, it's who she finds there. Lounging around in his bed is a whole group of beautiful women, and this includes the super famous singers, the Dakini sisters. I mean, from her point of view, what else could this be? It looks like the ultimate betrayal. And then things get even weirder. Instead of a fight, she gets this bizarre compliment from one of the women, Masaki Dakini. She's comparing our narrator to Tolo's companion androids, his fuck dolls. And honestly, it just makes her even more confused and angry. Okay, so here's the crucial part. Just as she's about to storm out, the headliner, Winter Kumundi, yells after her that Tolo wasn't even interested. He walked in, saw them all there, and basically said nope and left immediately. But our narrator? She is just seeing red. She doesn't process it. She leaves completely convinced she knows what's going on. Okay, so now let's flip the script and look at Tolo's side of the story. Because while our narrator was imagining this whole elaborate betrayal, his reality was something else entirely. Tolo explains he wasn't cheating at all. He was in his happy place. And for him, that means being out in the freezing cold of space with his work pod, doing what he loves, which is hard, physical labor, welding, and fixing damage on the ship's habitat ring. When she confronts him about the women, his answer tells you everything about how differently he sees the world. He can barely remember Kamnandi's name, and he calls all of them furniture. I mean, seriously, furniture. To Tolo, these women, even the famous Dakini sisters, they aren't people he's having relationships with. They're just background noise. His real passion is his work, and he tries to tell her it's her. So this is the breaking point. This massive disconnect between her perception and his reality, it just spills out everywhere. The emotional intensity gets so huge that it literally crashes the system, and the fabric of their universe just starts to tear apart at the seams. You see, their world is described as a hypercube game matrix. Just think of it like they're living inside a giant, programmable video game, and it's a really, really buggy one. In this world, people can be chacked in and cast into different roles, which means you can't even trust your own identity from one moment to the next.
And this slide just perfectly captures that breakdown. Our narrator finds herself bouncing uncontrollably through time and space. One second it's 1960, the next it's 2017. There's a starship from the 24th century buried in her sister's backyard. Reality has completely lost all meaning.
And during this glitch, characters get misidentified, forced into new roles by the broken system. At one point, our narrator is suddenly cast as her own ancestor, a theme park security guard named, of all things, Constable Thaddeus Prime.
So, with their reality stuck in this broken, repeating loop, some outside force decides the only solution is a hard reboot. It's like a cosmic control alt-delete. The system is too damaged to be fixed, it just has to be shut down. This emotional feedback loop between the narrator and Tolo, it's become completely unbreakable. It's trapping them and everyone else in this glitch. So a drastic, and believe me, deeply painful measure is needed to finally break the cycle.
A character named Miss Darrow White comes in and performs what's called a kill switch sequence, and it is a brutally intimate act. She takes a dagger, runs it through both of their hearts at the same time, and turns it like a key to physically and metaphysically sever the toxic connection that's causing this whole reality-breaking lift. And in the end, after all the time travel, the identity swapping, the cosmic reset, it all comes back to a simple, deeply human emotion. She realizes she was so mad because in that one moment right before the fight, she felt beautiful, and she felt completely and totally misunderstood by the person she loved. And this leaves us with a final thought, one that echoes Tolo's song from the very beginning, the one that started this whole mess. In a world this unstable, where love is literally powerful enough to shatter reality itself, what does it actually take to build a love that can last?